Hello, listeners. Welcome to the first episode of the new stream of the podcast that returned network, Dungeons & Pop Stories and Steins. These feed for the Dungeons & Pop network will focus on our games with guest hosts, and in general, it's our way to showcase people in the community that are just joining the podcasting community by being a part of Dungeons & Pop. It also includes such games as the long-awaited Artoirel's ongoing one-shot campaign, Papyrus and Cataclysms, which you're going to get the chance to listen to the first episode of right here. We hope you enjoy.
And now, on to the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new actual play podcast segment brought to you by Dungeons & Pop. This is Papyrus and Cataclysms, a short-form, rotating cast D&D 5th edition game, where they all take place in the same setting, but each mission is its own micro-campaign, kind of like a one-shot, essentially, and different characters will come in at different times. This is the very first caper, which is the lower level, more casual game type. We have a couple players with us now, and they will go ahead and introduce themselves and their characters.
Well, let's go by how everybody appears in order on your screen, Artoirel being the DM.
Yeah.
And then you can just edit out the prompting of the players to speak.
Yeah. Well, and actually what we're doing right now is, like, if you want to do your true character introduction right now, you can. But if you just want to do a basic...
that's where this goes.
If you want to do a basic one just for us, you can right now. We do need to... Everyone needs to quickly introduce their characters regardless. If you want your true character introduction now, you can. If you want just to do a basic one, you can. I know Crest already has their character introduction done.
I'm gonna give a basic just for us because I want to do a good one.
All right.
So that's gonna take some scripting. I still think we should go in order by who's first on your screen.
All right, that would be Sean on top. Do you want to do your proper one, or do you want to do a basic one right now?
You know what? I want to improvise my proper one.
All right.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Dell. You may remember me from such podcasts as Dungeons & Pop, Sewers and Shurikens, and guest stars on many others yet to come. I am playing John Arbuckle. I am playing a man you know as Aaron Class, because John Arbuckle died in a tournament in a universe on a plane far, far away, and he certainly hasn't come back to life as something completely different, with his life being just as much of a mess as it always been, if not worse, because now he's got magic powers.
You know, because magic powers solves everything.
Yeah, it solves everything.
It doesn't complicate things at all.
All right, that was a pretty good intro. Eric, and you said you want to do a basic one now, so go ahead. You're next.
Mm-hmm. Greetings. I am playing Evrynn. At least that's the name he gives everyone. He is a crystal dragonborn, which is to say that he's a dragonborn that is of a gem subtype variety, crystal specifically, which means his leathery draconic hide is festooned with scales that shimmer a white-yellow in the sun, which he hates because sparkling. He is a bit of a roguish figure, devil-may-care almost. I mean, he's a nice enough guy, but he also really just doesn't put up with anybody's shit. And never ask him about his parents. That's a whole can of worms you do not want to open, and he does not want to talk about. He is a semi-permanent installation at the guild, simply because his sister is a constant supplier due to the caravan she runs. He has mixed feelings about the guild, but he is more than often not been seen talking to newbies about, some tips and tricks and how the guild is run and how to get things done. So we'll see what kind of shenanigans I can I can get into with this new character.
All right. So there's Evrynn. Brian?
All right, I'll keep it basic for now. Oh, sorry.
Okay, basic for now. I was going to ask, so you answered me already.
I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, though.
No, you are fine. I'm the one that paused too long. Go ahead. Give us a basic about your character.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brian, and I'm going to be playing Pappy, full name Papyrus. He is a Gepetan, and I'm going to be playing a speed Henshin, because I actually did my homework and read more about the Henshins.
Excellent. Excellent.
Now, he actually comes from a different universe. In his universe, the Henshins are a living entity. And just before everything went bad and all went to hell, he took one of these living entities and bonded with it. And now he's trying to become a hero the one that brought him to life. He's trying to become like the one that brought him to life and hopefully bring him back to the light of justice. But unfortunately, Pappy's idea of justice and good can sometimes be seen as maybe a little chaotic. But you know what? With the right team, he just might learn the right way to save everyone.
All right. So there's Brian. Crest.
Hi, my name's Crest, pronouns he, him. You can find me on Twitter at FantasyCrest and just Crest on Pillowfort. I play video games Saturday on Twitch. I am the Dungeon Master of Choices, a D&D campaign streamed bi-weekly on Sunday. And I play Artoirel, the Lutrinian Magus.
A lot of good homebrew in this game. That is one thing about Capers and Cataclysms we're going to allow is homebrew, which allows things to make more interesting. That sentence makes sense somehow if you unscramble it.
I mean, let's consider the fact that Dungeons and Pop started with a completely homebrew campaign.
That's true.
Thanks to lasers and liches.
That's true. Anyway, those are our characters. This is our cast. Let's go ahead and get this game started on the plane of Pivoltech, which is lovingly known to many, including by a large number of its own inhabitants, as the drainage ditch of the multiverse. It is a plane of ever-shifting landscape, let's say, as bits of pieces of other realities, or even creatures from them, end up here from wherever they may have been before, either by accident or by luck if they had been so, quote-unquote, destroyed in their main universe.
Quote-unquote luck.
Quote-unquote luck. How great it is.
Don't mind my snark. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm just,
You're fine. Anyway, due to the ever-shifting nature of this world, there's not really so much strong kingdoms as there are city-states that trade between each other. It's kind of hard to have a stable kingdom when one day your castle could be just fine and then the next day it could be under a giant pile of sand out of nowhere. Or have
that kind of stuff.
Or suddenly just be turned inverted, unfortunately. That kind of makes things difficult to have things be too stable. So the most stable city-states are built around these large, shiny black crystals sticking out of the ground around various places where that doesn't seem to happen as much. It seems to stabilize the world a bit. They're called, Spires of the Earth. The Spires of the Earth.
And tell me, listeners, if that doesn't sound like a plot hook to you. That sounds like a plot hook to me.
Anyway, of note, one of the larger towns, based around one of the larger and older spires, is called Grey Anchor. Not sure why. It is nowhere near the ocean. It does have a river running through it, though, called Grey Anchor. And it is the home of the Interplanar Guild of Adventure, which is the vehicle for how these missions are going to be given out. And as a new day is starting, and in the courtyard of the main guild campus, several newbies sit and wait for the guild master to make his appearance and give a speech. Let's listen in on that. Hello, adventurers. Yes, each and every one of you either is, or is aiming to become, an adventurer. Why else would you join the Interplanar Guild of Adventure? Ha 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 ha! Allow me to introduce myself, for those who don't know me. I am your illustrious guildmaster, Sir Vincent Priorwald, and it is under my instruction and watch that you shall become some of the greatest adventurers the multiverse has ever seen. If you are willing to work for it, that is. We cover everything from escorting a traveling merchant, to delivering precious cargo, to fighting off an army of undead, and maybe even pushing back an eldritch nightmare from breaking into our world if the case may call for it. You will be set up in teams of 3 to 5 to deal with the requests brought before the guild. Whether it be official request or rumors of some darkness on the horizon. If you don't have the guts to face the darkest pits of the 9 hells without blinking, then you should have left yesterday. So now I just have one question for you all. Are you ready for an adventure? The guildmaster finishes his speech, gives a great wave to the gathered guildies, whether they be new or old and just happen to stand by to watch. Some people are a fan of his, even if he's seen a bit campy.
Over enthusiastic.
Cheesy. I mean, he's supposed to be a stereotypical knight in shining armor. I think I did a pretty good job, but...
Adam West's Batman.
I think you would do Adam West proud. He goes to start heading out, and many of you know you're supposed to be getting your assignment, but before any of you can chase him, a surprisingly tall purple tiefling woman with a clipboard and glasses steps forward and waves to each of the newbies, and actually even directly points out Evrynn to come over to them as well. Trying to get them together.
That was an in-character side.
Oh, okay.
Evrynn would push off the pillar that he was resting against because he was curious to see what flavor of yammering the guildmaster did this time.
Oh, he's fun.
And he walks over to the tiefling. Yes,
Miss Blackquill. You would know her. You would know her as Vilrissa Blackquill.
Okay. He still goes, yes.
Yes. Wait one moment, would you? Yes. Newbies over here, please. Snapping. I cannot snap. I wish I could. Thank you. I'll use that.
Meanwhile, Everett makes a concerted effort to look at a timekeeping device and goes 1001, 1002, 1003.
In the midst of his counting, coming over at a bit of a brisk trot, comes a large anthropomorphic otter person. He is what is called a Lutrinian. And among the 3 subraces, his is giant, which means he is the tallest of them. So he is 6 feet tall, 130 pounds. He has brown fur and a white muzzle with matching eyebrows. His eyes are blue. He's dressed in all green. He has a backpack slung over his shoulders. You can clearly see him wearing scale mail, and a hand axe is tucked into his belt. And he's also carrying a shield. On said shield is a ring, like a carved-in ring of ivy and vines. And for my fellow players, I drew character art of Artoirel.
Ooh, neat.
And I just stuck it into the chat.
Oh, love it.
Oh.
And around his wrist is a bracelet bearing a simple carved wooden leaf that, if you look close enough, would see bears the same ring on his shield, because that is his spell focus.
Oh, I love it.
1035, 1036,
Hey.
1037, and yes, I've been counting the entire time that Crest was talking,
And
because I am committed to this gag.
with the continued counting being heard, Pappy disengages from his dancing from on top of a table because someone in the building decided to bet Pappy that he wouldn't dance during the guildmaster's speech, but he decided to. He does a flip down from the table and proceeds to moonwalk to the meeting.
Oh, this is going great so far.
We have he's a 3-foot marionette who's painted white and has a red scarf hanging off his neck. And looking like he had carved onto his body is like a little plate mail armor on his torso and red boots.
I mean, what's a speed tension without a scarf? Right?
When he finally joins right next to Everett, he does a standing spin and strikes a JoJo pose.
Evrynn sighs again and passes him 2 gold, as per the bet.
Of course it was Evrynn that made the bet. Of course it was Evrynn.
I guess it's my turn to come over.
Mm-hmm.
I think you see a human in leather armor that seems to have way too many straps, but on closer inspection, it's a little big on him. It's meant for someone who's like probably a little bit taller, a little more orcish, as he's looking down these 2 pipes attached to a wooden handle of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a metal frame around the handle going down to what looks to be a trigger. And you see him like I said, he's looking down the handle's on the bottom. He's looking down the pipes. And then he turns around. He just flicks it and cocks it a few times before slinging it on his back and walking over.
You know, you talk about the thing being made completely of straps. It could be worse. You could be Final Fantasy X Lulu. Her entire dress is belts.
All the belts.
Okay, maybe just the skirt, but still.
So as you finally have all gathered, she looks you over. Is like, yes, very good. Now, as you all know how the system works, normally you'll be able to choose a mission or you'll be assigned one from our guildmaster. But that's only once you're all full-fledged guild members. Like Evrynn here. Evrynn shall be your, chaperone today.
Babysitter!
Yes, babysitter. Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Evrynn?
Several.
Well, then you shouldn't have joined the guild.
I didn't.
Not according to the paperwork.
What does Evrynn look like?
Did I thought I gave a description in the character intro.
Oh, you gave a brief one, but like, what's he wearing?
Oh, he is 6'4", and he is, he's a dragonborn, so he's got the muzzle, he's got the scales.
Oh, right, the crystal dragonborn thing. I'm sorry, I completely spaced.
No, it's fine. Believe me, I've been there. So it does bring up a good question. Tails or no on dragonborn?
Up to you.
Yes, because they're dragons. They gotta have tails. Yeah. It is stupid that the lizardmen got the tails and like the natural armor and the dragonborns didn't.
Yep.
One is lizards, the other are progeny of dragons.
So she calls you over, she starts with that. Now, normally you'd get to choose how you want to get your mission, or you'd get one directly from the guildmaster or me. But having this is most of yours first time, I've taken liberty of picking 3 easy missions for you to do.
The squeaking you hear is the training wheels.
So, you get to choose between one of these 3 amongst yourselves, and if you can't decide, then your team leader will decide. And no, Evrynn, just because you're the only experienced one does not mean you automatically get the leadership coin.
Then what's the point?
The point is for you to make sure they don't kill themselves.
I roll.
Or, embarrass the guild. Anyway, the 3...
Your son the gun.
The 3 missions you can pick from is, oh yes, here we are. The town of Testilus. Testilus.
Testicles.
I really wish I would have read that out loud before I started this, because I know I wrote that because I pronounced it that way, and now I can't remember how I pronounced Talstilus.
It happens. Everett's going to call it testicles anyway.
The town of Talsteels has been having issues with random pilferings and burglaries. He's accompanied with a terrible smell. The town guard have seemed to rule out normal banditry and have requested some aid. So that is something you could do. There is some issues with the storehouses in Bastilesworth. Their storehouses keep being...
What is a Bastilesworth?
The town of Bastilesworth.
The joke just kind of flies over those pretty horns, don't they?
Their storehouses are being raided and their livelihoods are in danger. This is not a time to joke. Again...
It's always a time to joke.
It is a similar situation in Bastilesworth, where they are being raided, though they can't seem to quite figure out how. Even with the town guards surrounding the building, they've ended up with stuff missing the next day. Finally, this last one is a little odd. I'm sure it's just a quick pop-in, pop-out kind of situation.
So you know it's not going to be. That's how those things go. Oh, this is going to be an easy cakewalk. We'll just pop in, pop out, and next thing you know, 3 weeks later you come out of a dimensional portal covered in scars and gunk.
Excuse me, Everett, was it?
Evrynn, but yes.
The elder says as he looks at you. As I understand it, this woman is your superior.
And?
Please try and be respectful.
Oh, you're going to be a fun one, aren't you? And he just grins, showing his teeth.
Eric, what's Evrynn's AC?
Wow, already?
Oh my goodness.
14.
Well, I think A non-natural 20 beats that as Evrynn just kind of like juts out the handle of his shotgun and just kind of hits him in the gut.
Okay, 1, rude, and 2, for reference sake, it's Evrynn. Evrynn.
Apologies.
No, it's fine.
Pappy's just been taking notes on what everyone has been doing this entire time, and he finally just...
Which apparently is beating up on Evrynn.
Well, he finishes taking his last note and goes,
So this is how you be a hero. I am learning so much.
No. No, this is not how you be a hero. This is how you be asshole.
Oh, Lord, this is going great, isn't it?
I think Evrynn just kind of looks down at Pappy and goes, Rule number 1, Pappy. Assert dominance.
Oh, it's going to be like that then, is it?
Mustering some strength, and Artoirel looks at the tiefling and says, "Please continue, Lady Blackwell."
Thank you. Finally, we've had some mixed reports from the town of Mengdao. It seems that while the official word from the guard is that everything is fine,
Of course.
some contacts we have in the city, some old acquaintances of the guild have asked us to look into help. There may be disappearances happening in the town of Mengdao. We're not entirely sure. The information is cloudy.
What about their bean supply? How are the Mung's beans?
Please select a mission amongst yourselves and let me know so I can mark it down that we have someone heading that way. And, like, she just keeps giving dirty looks at Evrynn, like, this entire time she has been.
Nothing new to him.
So, yeah.
See, the character wants to suggest Mengdao. The player is screaming in the back of the head. 2 letters.
I mean...
But...
So...
I mean, you know, Evrynn called it. Oh, it's going to be a cakewalk. Yeah, right.
So you guys got those 3 choices. You got Mengdao, you got Bastilworth, and you got Artoirel.
Before proceeding, I would know this group's capabilities. I am skilled with combat, and I am skilled with magic to a certain extent. What do the rest of you bring to the table?
A sunny disposition and rapier wit.
So you're a bard, got it. And you? And I look at the puppet.
Pappy takes a standing salute at you and goes,
In my universe, you would all be my senpais. So, great senpai. My ability is to kick a lot of ass. Would you like to see my ass-kicking ability?
Not quite yet. We'll get there, I imagine.
he stops saluting and he just waits for your next command.
Evrynn just kind of nods, goes, well, I got a keen eye, some cool flips, and a flair for the dramatic entrance.
In that case, I think perhaps...
sorry, Sean, really quickly, could you give me a perception check?
Oh god, oh no. Shoot, I don't know what this is on. The D20, guys, it landed on an edge.
Oh no!
Then it's cocked, so you roll again.
Yeah, if it lands on an edge, you reroll.
Alright, that is a 14.
You think you feel something, but when you look and turn and try and figure out what it was, nothing's there.
In that case, given how our group seems to be more focused on combat and potential, I want to say, investigation work, perhaps we should head to Bastilworth and investigate the storehouses.
So, just side note, the audience can't see this, but Evrynn just kind of dole from Aaron, and I think you have some gold, yes, from your background or your character?
Yeah, I have 15 gold.
I would prefer something a little more, say, personal, that he would notice is missing.
That's rude.
Oh no!
Because if we're talking about asserting dominance,
Okay, you know what? If we're going to be doing this, can I roll perception to see if he's doing this?
If you'd like to, go ahead. You gotta beat us 15.
It was 15 on a dice, but I have a -1 perception.
I noticed nothing.
now I do want to point this out. I only did this because he gut checked me with his shotgun. So
yeah, that's fair.
I am not going to be that chaos gremlin that is going to tank the game. Crest, don't worry.
Well, I do have a whip. I do have another shotgun.
For our audience, I rolled a 7.
You no longer have a whip.
Okay. Nuts. If you took the other shotgun, that would have been funny later. For reasons that will come apparent if anyone ever takes the shotgun.
Okay, so circling back, I am proposing choice 2.
The Bastille.
The town of Bastilleworth and investigating the storehouses.
Yep.
I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. Evrynn sees them all just kind of all the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look easy, but he knows from experience that, no, something's going to go wrong, something's going to explode, and somehow he's going to get saddled with the blame. To that end, in character, Evrynn is just going to be like, yeah, if you think that's what is best, then yeah, sure, I guess.
So, any other opinions? Or are you on your way to Bastillesworth?
Well, I think Aaron's like, well, that makes sense. So, I will admit, it was Mengdao, right?
Mengdao.
Mengdao seems a little more interesting and may prove a little more useful in showing our grit, but I will defer to the group.
Pappy goes where his teachers tell him to go.
We had one official vote, and it was for Bastilleworth. All right.
Well, I officially voted for Mengdao, but I said that if...
So technically we're at 2 votes, 1 each. 1 abstaining because he'll go where the group goes, and then there's me.
Yeah. So you can either vote, or we could...
Make it a 3-way tie because I'm that much of a jackass now.
And if that's the case, either you vote for one of the 2, or we do the initiative rollout to determine who is the team leader.
I actually will throw a vote. Pappy's actual vote will be to go for Bastillesworth, and there is a reason why he would choose this.
All right.
Okay.
Quick question. Can I get a refresher on the different issues?
Okay.
I know one of them, Bastilleworth, was the
storehouses.
The storehouse?
Storehouses being raided.
Like they didn't know how they were getting raided.
Like even when they had guards standing around them overnight, the next day stuff would be missing.
Okay.
First choice was a town called Tostiles having issues with random burglaries, complete with strange smells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The third mission is in a town called Mengdao, I think it's pronounced.
Mengdao.
Acquaintances having trouble with disappearances.
Possibly. There's mixed reports.
And we have 2 for Bastillesworth and 1 for
Mengdao.
Honestly, the disappearing people seem a little more important, so that's where Evrynn would make his vote. Evrynn would make his vote for.
Which means it's now time to decide who the team captain is. Which is something I planned this ahead of time because I knew things could go poorly. Like, I knew, it's not always going to be a solidified vote, so there's the team captain vote, which is done by rolling for initiative. Highest becomes team captain, and their vote is the tiebreaker.
I rolled a 19, and I have a +2 to initiative for a 21.
Ooh. All right.
I do not.
I do not. How high did you not roll, Sean?
11.
10.
Wait. Oh no. I don't want this. I rolled a 17. My initiative is 5.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't want this.
Roll off. 21 versus 21.
No.
And we're just...
Isn't 17 plus 5 22?
Oh, is it?
Pappy wins by 1.
Oh, God.
No.
If you don't want it, you could probably have Pappy defer to one of his senpai.
That's true.
That's actually what I would like to do for role-playing purposes.
Let's get to that. As she saw the group was not coming to a consensus, she pulled a coin from a little clip on the clipboard and tossed it randomly to one of you, and it just so happened to be caught by the puppet. Congratulations, you're now team captain, and your vote is the tiebreaker. What mission are you taking? She asked, staring hard at Papyrus.
Oh. Papyrus just starts shaking, and he turns. First, he looks at Evrynn, and he sees a personality of someone. Granted, he really respects this, and he wants to really follow Evrynn, but at the same time, he senses danger. Then he looks at Aaron, and he feels a bond that he hasn't felt in a long time, but at the same time, it was that bond that got him in a lot of trouble in the past. And then finally, looking at his great Otto senpai, Pappy just goes,
No, he will be the leader.
And gives him the coin?
Yep. Hands over the coin. Because he remembers a mentor from the past whose name started with a T, and how every time the three of him and his friends would get into trouble, it was that mentor that would come and scowl them and tell them the right way to do things. And he senses that from his Otto senpai. So he's like, you do it.
Very well then, I say as I took the coin. Mission 2 it is then.
Alright, so you will be going to Bastilworth. She writes on her little clipboard thing.
So stolen goods are more important than missing people. All right, priorities.
Possible missing people. We don't know for a fact that anyone's gone actually missing. The person that made the request is a friend of the guildmaster, but they're also known to not be the most stable. So, the only reason we were going to send anyone out there anyway is because they were an old friend.
I'm just going to say it now. If we ever go back to that mission, it turns out to be exactly what I messaged you, Arcel. You evil person, you.
Oh no, is it what I think it is?
Probably. That's what I asked.
We'll see if anyone ever gets that mission in in future capers. We'll see.
If there's a town even left.
Well, this is the advantage of having multiple teams. You can always make it so the missions are happening at the same time if a different team is going there.
That's true. That's true.
That is what I'm betting on here.
The timeline is as we decide what it is.
Yes, exactly. All right, so she writes it down. She pulls off a form and rolls it up from the clipboard, handing it to Artoirel.
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 Hold on, I'll put how to pronounce it in the chat.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I am bad. Artoirel. Okay. And hands it to him. It just is basic information. It talks about the city. It talks about it tells you who Bastilworth. It's a small town. It shows where it is on the map. And it tells you should talk to the captain of the guard there. It's not a huge town, so it only has a town guard. It doesn't have like a standing army. Captain Rem Roomwood will be the point of contact in the city of Bastilworth. And she nods like, if you need any additional equipment, the guild armory is open to you as always. As Evrynn would know, you don't. Evrynn, if you could show them to the armory if they need anything, I'd appreciate it. I have other teams to attend to. And when you're ready to go, we have a guild cart ready to take you. You don't have to worry about travel time in this. They take care of it. The guild takes care of its own.
So as Miss Blackquill leaves,
yes,
Evrynn will just turn to Artoirel and go, well, oh illustrious team leader, will you deign to permit me to take you to the armory?
You may. He says he's not responding to the jib.
How gracious of you. And he turns and starts walking off.
So if you guys need any additional basic equipment, you have not been approved for magical gear or special items. So any non-magical equipment you need, you can pretty much get from the armory. Pretty simple.
Artoirel doesn't need anything.
All right.
But if the others need it, he'll wait.
Does anyone feel they need any additional equipment, or are you happy with what you got?
I'm actually happy with everything Pappy has, so Pappy will wait with Artoirel.
All right.
I think I'm good.
Well, yeah, so even if you guys don't end up getting anything, it's still good to know where it is for future missions.
True.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a... What the hell?
What?
Oh, nothing. Just me forgetting, apparently, some of my starting equipment.
Ah, yeah, that can happen.
From the rogue. I'm figuring I got, a simple weapon for a dagger or something.
Yeah.
And I just didn't put it on my sheet.
That's odd.
Well, since we know that we're going to the one for thievery, Arm's going to be the smart one, and he's going to pull a Scooby-Doo, and he's going to grab some nets, just in case we need some nets.
Nets? Okay.
Yep, it is a basic D&D item. It is a weapon.
Yeah, you get 3, you're able to get 3 nets, no problem. Nice and easy.
I mean, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, once Evrynn has his nets, we'll be off.
Alright, you are shown to a cart. You're greeted by the cart driver. Just little old man. And again, random name. You can call him Gall. That's it. No surname, just Gall. Or maybe there's a surname. It's not entirely clear. And it is not a super long trip, a little more than a day's travel to come to this small forested town at the base of a mountain range. It's unclear why it's called Bastilworth, as it doesn't look like it has anything of heavy infrastructure there, though that might have simply been because of how much time has passed. Like, there are some ruins on the edge of the town.
All right.
People are moving about, means things are not too busy. You see the town guards, and one of them directs you towards the storehouses where, that is where Rem Runewood will be. Just these large warehouses on the far side of town near the mountains. It's also near where the ruins are, so that's not bad.
Alrighty.
And
Go on.
oh, okay. There you find several town guard, and it's standing outside a opened up storehouse, like doors wide open, and within it is a single town guard that is in nicer armor. You're informed that's Rem Runewood, and he seems to be looks utterly baffled as he stands in a half-empty storehouse and like stuff knocked about it. It looks like it's been properly raided.
Captain Remuid, I assume.
Yeah,
Artoirel says as he takes the lead.
who are you? Oh,
Artoirel,
are you with the...
new recruit of IGA, and I will flash the Adventurers Guild badge you said we all have.
Yes, I did forget to mention that for the official recording. Yeah, everyone has a guild badge and a guild-branded water skin. Sorry, I know that's not important about anything. I just love that I did that. I love that it's like in-universe marketing.
Merchandising.
Yeah.
Where the real money from the movie is made.
Anyway.
I'm still waiting for my IGA branded hoodie. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, anyway, he nods at you and is like, smells about time. I'm up to my wit's end on this place. Look at this thing. I was stood out front this place personally myself last night. And look at it. Half the food provisions are gone. Several bouts of cloth destroyed.
Can I make an investigation?
Go right ahead.
Can I roll nature to see if it was an animal that did this, maybe?
Go right ahead.
Nature, dirty 20.
Ooh, and what'd you get for your investigation?
18 with a 19 added in.
All right. Since Evrynn asked first, we'll go with Evrynn's first. Yeah, you did go, right? You asked for investigation.
Yeah, I asked for investigation, and then Cress popped up saying, hey, can you do a nature check?
Yeah.
Which, actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah. What you do notice is there are marks around the place that are not natural. They don't look like they were done by... Well, they're not... They don't look like they were done by any sort of tools. They look like they were...
Natural.
The boxes were clawed open. Yeah, they were natural. Clawed open, and you'll also notice that while there are no other doors into the storehouse, there are some windows further up on the walls, like too high for how people would normally go. But...
Right. Here's my question. Do these claw marks happen to also be around the windows?
Not that you can see. They're more like in the boxes or the bags that were torn open.
Mm-hmm.
And you said dirty 20 for your...
Nature check, yes.
Nature check?
He did.
While you're investigating and the guard captain is talking, you find a feather just underneath some of the stuff. Like, you actually find a few feathers in your investigation. It's a little odd. Like they're sizable feathers. They don't look like little bird feathers, you know?
I gather them up and I say, Captain Remwood, I don't suppose poultry was among the missing goods.
Huh. Why would you keep poultry in a storehouse? That's just ridiculous. We're at the farm.
I flashed the feathers at him.
What? I don't think I've ever seen feathers like this. Like they're a vibrant blue color. Though.
What about these scratches? And he points to, the scratched and gnawed on things.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times in the past, but again, we're never quite sure what's been causing it. Just keeps being an issue for us.
I mean, I don't know, but my money's on whatever left those bright-ass blue feathers around.
Indeed, and I cast my eyes towards the windows. Do I need to roll acrobatics to get up there?
Yeah.
I actually kind of had something with that, if it's okay.
Go ahead.
I think Aaron looking around at this, and I want to give the help action and just kind of head over there and stand and brace against the wall and just kind of whistle over to Artoirel to help him up there.
Here's a good question. How tall is Artoirel? Now that I'm
6 feet.
6 feet? And Evrynn is 6'4".
Oh.
So here's a question. How tall are those windows again?
Oh, they're 10 feet up.
Pappy's just gonna do a sweet flip and get up there easily.
What?
Because he has sweet flips.
Oh, that's right.
He can jump up to 15 feet in any direction, including up.
Doesn't he have to be transformed for that?
Oh, that's true.
Oh. Ooh. You know what? This is the perfect time for Happy to do it. The first thing you'll just hear is, "Come forth!" And a suit of armor descending from the sky, shining black, like a black, what is the phantom black? It is literally phantom black. This is how black this armor is.
Oh, Vanta Black?
Sorry, Vanta Black. I apologize.
It looks like a hole.
No, I just...
It looks like a hole in the sky.
I realized what you were going for.
And so this is how dark, but you can see in the middle of the cracks is like what looks like living material just constantly flowing. And it opens up because when it lands, it does like the blade landing. Not your typical superhero landing, the blade landing specifically, if you remember.
Vampire Hunter Blade, not Common Rider Blade?
Yes, Vampire Hunter Blade.
Gotcha.
And when it does, its chest opens up and Pappy climbs onto one of the legs and climbs inside. And then he looks up at the window and does a sweet flip.
All right.
I think Evren's going to look at Artoirel and go, "You don't see that every day, do you?"
Jesus Christ.
No, then since coming to Pavel Talk, my worldview's been open pretty widely.
Yeah, try being a native here.
I can only imagine.
Should I roll a con save since I'm standing in front of the window to make sure I don't get knocked down my nostril?
Oh no, I feel bad now.
If you think he'd be the kind to stumble away to try and not get hit, go ahead and do... no, it'd be a dex save to make sure you don't stumble and fall, not a con.
No, Aaron's still there, but he has this giant armored figure jumping up onto his...
Oh, wait, no. If I remember correctly, he's just doing sweet flips to get up to the window. He's not actually using you as the launching board like you were planning on doing for Artoirel.
Yeah, he bypassed you.
What is he standing on to look at the window? That's what I mean.
The window ledge, I'm guessing.
Oh, it's one of those ones. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Also, Cress, what were you going to say? You started to say something and then we just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
After he transformed, I was going to turn back to Evrynn. I was going to do acrobatics.
Hey, okay. So you're both going to go up to the window.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and do your acrobatics roll. With advantage because you're getting the help action.
Natural 20.
Oh my.
Well, shit.
You somehow do it even more impressively than the guy in armor. It's like, what the fuck?
This is why you are the senpai.
The guard captain's going to look at Evrynn and go, Did the guild become a flying circus when I wasn't looking?
Their guess is as good as mine.
Jeez.
Artoirel ignores them talking and turns his attention to the windows.
The window ledges are, they're about 1.5 feet thick, so plenty enough room to stand on, even though it's not super tall. They're only maybe, you have to crouch down, but like between the, like, you got maybe 4 feet of clearance, but the window itself is only like 2.5 feet tall, and they're just these big rectangular windows, and it seems they are very easy, and like they're not even glass filled, they're just open air, but they have smoothed edges, so it doesn't look like something could grappling hook to them, like kind of slightly rounded.
And he's wondering how the things got in?
No, like they're rounded, like it's 10 feet in the air, and rounded edges, so you can't grappling hook in.
These things have feathers, they probably have wings.
Yes, but there's no glass in them.
Yes, but the roof edge on the other side is pretty low, so if you tried to jump into it from that direction, you'd probably hit your head and just fall back down, at least make a lot of noise. It's not easy.
Okay, are the scratch marks or the blue feathers up here?
They're not up there, but you do see 1 or 2 blue feathers on the ground outside the window.
I will get down from the window and I will say, there are blue feathers outside this building. I'm guessing the birds flew in here.
Bird? But what kind of bird steals 20 pounds of food?
I look towards Evrynn and I say,
a hungry one.
And I say, well, you're the native here. And I hold up the feather. You tell me. And there's a challenge to his gaze.
Oh.
Now, I know he's challenging the captain we're talking to.
Oh.
But that said, I would like to do...
No, I was talking to Evrynn.
Oh.
Oh.
I said, you're the native here. You tell me as I hold up the feathers.
I was going to say, I'd like to roll a nature check.
Go ahead.
Well, that ain't too great. How does an 11 do?
It's a feather.
I'd imagine I'd have less luck than him, but shall I try and roll nature?
Yeah, go ahead. To figure out what kind of feather it is.
Just straight or disadvantage?
Just straight.
That's a natural one. I know nothing.
You're convinced it's from a penguin.
Has Artoirel even heard of penguins?
No.
At least I know it's a feather. What do you think it is, Mr. Natural One?
He He knows it's a feather. He's just for sure it's from a bird that can't possibly be from.
Okay.
Well, the idea actually isn't that out of place, considering this is a hodgepodge of the multiverse.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, fair.
So, I think that Evrynn is going to come over and look at the feathers. You see his eyes, weird black and white specks appearing, and I'd like to use my background feature of impossible knowledge, Arcel.
Ooh, okay, so how does that work?
Oh, you're a player background.
How does that work?
You know things about the world that you have not researched and sometimes would be impossible for anyone to know. The names of long-dead kings, the general location of an ancient artifact, how some dwarven machine works, that secrets the dragon hides, time of the next eclipse, or the exact words needed to sway an opinion are all examples of knowledge you may suddenly and inexplicably remember. These bits of knowledge come from you as memories from your previous life and may not be reliable. It also says it rarely pertains to present or future events and is mostly lower from the past or prophecy, though small bits of information about the immediate world can sometimes make themselves known. Additionally, these quote-unquote memories are extremely rare, happening no more than once a week or sometimes for several years. Ask your GM whenever you feel like this feature may come into effect. And you know why I'm pulling this.
As a person who has a...
No, I don't know why you're pulling this.
You do, because you had an idea.
Oh, no.
Oh, right, yes, okay. Well, knowing that, even though in this case it won't help extremely well, while looking that close, you get a smell of something that sends you into flashbacks of a time you don't exactly know, of the sea, the ocean, blue feathers in the ocean. Like, it's very odd.
I think Evrynn kind of blinks and steps back a little. Hey?
My God, they are penguins.
I think he blinks and he says kind of weird. What? That's interesting. Those remind me of the sea, but I'm not sure why.
And you're asking us?
Well, more information you had, Evrynn.
That's true.
I am just telling you what I've been able to pick up here, and it's weird because I've never been to the ocean, but yet I remember the smell of the ocean and blue feathers like those.
The creak of the wooden boards of a ship creaking. Pleasant tune in the background, but no, yeah, pretty simple stuff.
I think at that thought, Aaron's like thinking, and because I can't remember this in the description. Did anyone mention? Isn't this the one that has the river, or am I thinking of one of the other missions?
Oh, Grey Anchor had the river. The main town has the. This is a town in a forest at the base of a mountain range. It's pretty foggy though, so you can't really see the mountain range. That's actually a normal trait of this place.
So, feathers from a seabird are just weird.
Yeah.
Pappy's gonna tug on Everin's pant leg.
Yes, small one, are you going to snark at me now too?
Are there pirates in your universe?
Well, yes. I mean, whenever there's rules set in place that people don't like, or an oppressed group of people that try to make a living that usually end up turning to stealing, yeah, pirates.
I think it was pirates, everyone.
I mean, that's a fair thought, except that we're nowhere near a source of water. Which makes the fact that these feathers made him, nodding to Evrynn, think of the sea and a ship and all of that all the weirder. And then he pauses. However, he turns to the captain, Rem.
Rem? Yeah, Rem reward.
Rem, R-E-M.
Rabbit eye movement.
Fair enough. When was the last time, say, a supply caravan came in to town? And where were they from?
We get them once every 1 or 2 months, and the last one was from Malgenor. That huge port city all the trade comes from. They have such good stuff from there.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago did the thievery start?
It's the last shipment was actually about a week ago, but it started about 3 weeks ago, and it's happened on and off every 2 to 3 days, it seems.
Am I the only one seeing things line up, or is that just me?
Potentially. But let's see if there really is a this ship has traced along that we can follow as I walk outside, and I'm going to head over to where I saw the blue feathers outside the building, and I'm going to see if there's a trail.
Okay, roll me, you can either do nature or you can do survival. Or investigation. No, survival or.
Evrynn will refrain from mimicking strangling the giant otter person.
Investigations, okay, they're both the same, so 4. I'm having no luck today.
No, you are not.
Can I give the help action? Because I am a very investigative boy.
Oh, do you want to do the help action or do you want to do your own roll?
Whatever he answers, I'd like to try my own roll if that's okay.
All right, him first
then. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to give... I think the help action makes more sense because, like...
All right.
It makes sense with Aaron's trying to...
So, survival with advantage then?
Yep, so you get another roll, yeah.
That's a natural 20!
Well, shit.
You're not having any luck at first, but when Aaron comes to help you out, like, as you're like, just out of the corner of your eye, you spot something further back, like, towards the forest. You see more feathers. I mean, you see another feather just out in the woods. So you have a direction you can go. The more you look, the more kind of little hints of a path you have found heading into the woods towards the mountains.
And we have a trail. And I set off for the woods.
All right. Is he going alone?
I was going to say, does the team leader wait for the rest of the team, or does he just go off on his own?
Well, Aaron was with me, so I'm assuming the rest of you are following.
Oh, Pappy's right behind Aaron.
Okay. You all going? Is Evrynn joining them?
I don't know, is he?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, but at a distance.
Grumpy. Got it.
No, he's trying to make a point. No, it's a good point. The team leader just kind of waltzed off and just assumed the rest of the team was going to follow him without any sort of, direction or plan. He just up and walked off. So Aaron will, at a distance,
follow.
But
ambush him. Ambush him.
But it is enough of a distance to make a poignant case of things.
All right. Sorry, I was checking something really fast. So you're heading into the woods. You're heading deeper into the woods. The captain goes to follow first. It's like, I'll stay here then. Be careful.
Yeah.
The woods are dangerous.
Aaron just cocks his shotgun and goes, "Oh, don't worry, we got this." And then he fires an electric blast into a nearby tree for emphasis. Out of his shotgun.
Why?
Because eldritch blast.
Oh, you ruined our...
Your captain is appreciated, but perhaps we should cool our jets a second.
Our heroes, listeners. Our heroes.
All right, so you're heading into the woods.
Listen, you don't get to say that when you've been the Snark Master this whole time.
Just because I'm being a snarky jackass doesn't mean I'm a bad person or an asshole. Just means I'm a snarky jackass. There's a difference.
Sure, Jan.
Oh, so that's how it's gonna be.
I think as they're arguing, Aaron's just talking to Pappy. Goes,
"That was out of character."
No. That.
Oops. Oh my goodness.
Excuse me for trying to widen my character breadth and play different types of characters.
I still think it's funny if it was a character, though.
No, it couldn't be because of how kind of distant Evrynn is following.
Oh, I just...
Alrighty, so...
Shouting at each other while they walk the roads, not the most stealthy approach to following people.
Well, I am wearing scale mail, so...
Oh my goodness.
So even so.
Alright, so you're all just heading in the woods, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
As you go deeper into the woods, there is somewhat of a path easy enough to follow. It does get a little harder as you reach the area of the mountains where the fog and cloud layer starts rolling in, which slows down your progress a little bit. It does force Evrynn to get a little closer, or else he will not be able to see everyone. What is being rolled?
That was a stealth check, actually.
Okay, how you doing? How is that?
16.
Not bad.
And I do want to say, out of character, it's not that he's trying to hide from the group, or he's trying to do something...
He's just trying not to make too much noise.
Yeah, he's not trying to do something to the group.
Yeah.
He's actually being wary of what they might be coming up on, so he wants to stealth/hide, so he could possibly be a ace up the team's sleeve if we stumble across something, or perhaps something stumbles across us and surprises us.
That's entirely fair. Could I get perception checks from people?
Oh, everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
Okay.
All right.
18.
That is 14 on the die, 18 with my modifier.
All right, 2 18s. What else we got?
That
I rolled a 12.
I rolled an 8.
Are those totals or after?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It was a 13, but I have a -1 in perception, so that is a 12.
Okay, 12 total. Yeah, I need to know if it's total. So 2 18s total. All right, you start hearing a melody, oddly enough, a bit in the distance. Well, two of you do. Two of you notice it. It's like music. That's a little odd. Now I need all of you to roll a wisdom check.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
A check or a saving throw?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh goody.
This hurts.
I'm not good at those.
No, it's an 8 again.
15.
Oh shit. I rolled a 19 plus 2 for so 21.
All right, so what were they again? We got 21 and 19, an 8.
I have a 5 total.
15.
It hurts. It hurts.
So it seems the snark has protected at least 2 of our people.
Okay, well, Evrynn and Artoirel, right?
Artoirel.
Artoirel. You have to shake your head a bit because the music sounded really good, but I was like, yeah, it's doing something weird, but you're able to shake it off. The other two of you start being forced to start moving into the fog off to the side of the path towards the beautiful music, unable to stop yourselves as you head into the, into the fog.
I follow them carefully.
Oh,
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm stealthed, so I'm not too terribly worried.
You get dragged.
You can find Dungeons and Pop at Dungeons Pop on Twitter and on your podcast app of choice. You can also join us on our Discord social club and maybe even join for a game and get your chance to be on a podcast if only once. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed our show, please leave a review.